Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Diana. If you're not, welcome back. So today's video, I'm going to get right into it, and we're going to be talking about intimate vaginal health. Is it intimate vaginal health? Well, vaginal health or vaginal hygiene, intimate health, whatever the case, however you want to put it. I'm very much in tune with my personal hygiene, and as a woman, our vaginal hygiene is really important. And I don't know, I feel like I always grew up with my mom being very clean and always just seeing her take care of her hygiene really well, and it kind of just stuck with me. And it's something that, you know, if you know me personally, then you know that I'm always trying new products, and I just want to, you know, stay on top of my body hygiene, my intimate hygiene, my face, like any type of like personal like body hygiene. I'm really just much into it. So I just want to give you guys my like tips that I use for the summer, because depending on the weather and depending on the season, you know, different parts of your body might need different you know, treatments. Like, you know, in the wintertime, if you live in an area that is cold, you might need a different type of body routine, same as, you know, your intimate routine. It just changes throughout the weather and throughout the seasons, and these are kind of like the tips that I use throughout the summertime that I feel like works best for me. So I just wanted to share you guys. So I did write down a couple of my tips, and I feel like I'm missing one, and then once I'm done with the video, I'm going to be like, wow, like I'm missing that tip and I wanted to say it. But if it ends up like popping up in my head again, then I'll just add it on another video. So tip number one, and I feel like this goes without being said, is, you know, just washing your intimate area. And, you know, it's just like, okay, obviously, like, we're supposed to be washing our intimate area, like, duh. But I feel like, at least personally, I feel like 2 times, you should be washing your area 2 times minimum a day, especially in the summertime. And when I mean washing, it's like you're actually like washing with soap and, like, you know, really cleansing yourself, at least in the morning and at nighttime before you go to bed. And if you're somebody that's active like me, you know, you even want to take it a little bit further, you know, before the gym, after the gym, and that might be a little bit excessive for some people, but I just personally feel like, you know, I feel more comfortable if I take care of my personal hygiene, like before I go to the gym, and then you want to just, you know, take a quick wash or wash yourself and cleanse yourself right after the gym, because just leaving sweat or just staying with a sweaty underwear, whatever the case may be, right after the gym could just cause odor. It could cause pimples. It could just cause a lot of stuff that could be prevented just by you washing your area. So, you know, 2 times a day, you want to opt for 2 times a day. If you're a little bit more extra like me, 3, 4, whatever the case may be, whenever you feel it's necessary. And all body types are different. Sometimes people tend to sweat more in their you know, private area, and that's somebody that, you know, you want to be a little bit more cautious with that, and maybe wash extra, you know, in the middle of the day. You could just wash yourself and just keep yourself fresh throughout the day. So that's tip number 1, and, you know, that should go without saying. I know there's a lot of people that talk about that you shouldn't be using soap, and that you should be just putting water and just washing yourself with water. You know, do whatever works for you. I'm gonna use soap. I don't know where this concept of not using soap. I honestly, I haven't really done the research as well to really tell you that, okay, it might not work or whatever, but I've always used soap. Definitely, you don't want to use a fragrance soap. You don't want to use anything that smells. You don't want to use something fancy like body washes. You really just want to use like a bar of soap that is unscented, because you don't want to throw your pH levels out, because you're using something that is scented, and that could be, you know, not sensitive enough for your private area. With that, I'm going to talk about vaginal washes. and I literally have tried like I think every wash in the market. I just like them. I think that they're a great add-on while you're in the shower. You know, just still use your bar soap, but it's just kind of like a great like finisher because they do have a lot of benefits that could help balance out your pH balance. And I'm not saying this by any means. I don't have any type of knowledge. I'm not an OBGYN. I'm not a you know, any specialist, but I'm using my experience and it has worked for me. So this is what I do. Some of the products that I do, like I have two right here. This is a new one, and this is the Monistat. Monistat, you'll probably see this a lot on CVS and Walgreens, and they're known for selling products, you know, vaginal products in terms of like what's the name of this, UTI relief, or any type of like vaginal health products. They tend to sell them, and they came out with a new wash, and it is supposed to balance out your pH, which they all say. It's safe, gentle, non-irritating, whatever the case may be. I like it because it's unsensitive, and I do trust this brand because I have used them in the past. So I just went ahead and grabbed it. I think it only cost maybe like $10, $4 or $5. I don't know the price, but no more than $10, I don't think. And that's just, that product, I don't believe it's organic or anything like that. It's just a regular vaginal intimate wash. And like I said, I've tried the brand before and I personally like it. So the next product that I want to talk about is Honey Pot. This is something that is becoming really popular in the market. It is like an organic or like a more healthier version to women health products. They have like the pads, they have tampons, I believe, they have the wash, they have wipes, and what else do they have? I think they have other stuff. That's kind of the stuff that I tend to gravitate towards, so I know it. And they do come in like sensitive, they come in normal, and then what's the other one? I think it's sensitive and normal that they have. I think there's a third type of category that they have, but I tend to kind of just stay in this sensitive and normal. So yeah, this is another intimate wash from them, and I really like their wash because it is infused with lavender, coconut, and apple cider vinegar, and they tend to be infused with things, and they smell really good. So I like them. With that being said, everything is going to be, you know, try and error, whatever works best for you. So you kind of have to go around and navigate with a good intimate wash. I've tried so many. I really haven't had any issues. I know that some people tend to be more sensitive to things like that. So I would opt more for like something like Honey Pot, that they have different categories, and they'll have things that are like sensitive to women that are more sensitive to products and stuff like that. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, whatever. So moving on with that, and I have wipes. So wipes is something that I am really into because they're so easy to freshen up throughout the day. And I feel like, you know, I don't know if, how can I say this? Women, we don't really talk about like, hey, like, what do you do? Like, what's your routine? What are you using to help you? And I feel like this is why I wanted to put this video out there, because I feel like growing up, you're so lost and you don't know what's the proper way to take care of yourself. You don't know what's the proper way to clean yourself, or how to stay clean, or how to stay fresh throughout the day. And you know, I would really speak to my mom a lot, like, hey, what do you do? What do you recommend? And these are just things that I have really found throughout me just learning and just experimenting with things that really help with me. So wipes, I think, are a great way to stay fresh throughout the day. I have some like these that are like little packets, and these are from Vagisil. I've also tried their vaginal washes. They're really good. They smell really good. So I have these are in the sensitive like this, and these are perfect to throw on in your purse. I throw these, I have these like all over my purse. I have them if I'm gonna travel. I put them in my work bag. I put them everywhere because this is great to, in between, let's say you're going to the restroom in between restrooms, you probably don't have to use this every time you go to the restroom, but in between, let's say you've already gone to pee like twice, you know, you could take one of these, wipe yourself up, and you're a little bit more fresh instead of just having to wipe with a paper. You know, you would still wipe with paper, but then you will kind of finish off with these, or vice versa, whatever it works for you or you're more comfortable with, and it just keeps you fresh. I also have them like this in a little pouch, and this one is kind of like beat up. I have a new pack, I don't know where I put it. It's in one of my bags because I keep them in my bags. I typically never take them out. So I have them like these in like a little packet, and this is the one from Honey Pot, and it is the sensitive. I always try to aim for sensitive, even though I'm not sensitive, I'm pretty much normal, but I always try to aim for sensitive because why not? It's gonna be a little bit more gentle to my body. So the cool thing about the Honey Pot ones is that they are for the intimate parts, the body and the face. So they're really sensitive that you could even use these wipes on your face. I haven't used these wipes on my face, but you know, it says that you can. So yeah, these are just a great way to refresh yourself if you're somebody that goes to the gym and you know you are not going to be able to go home right after the gym. This is great to have in your gym bag. You could go to the gym, freshen yourself up. You don't want to leave that sweat, you don't want to leave yourself uncleaned, because you know, women, we're really sensitive and we need to prioritize our vaginal health because it's really important. That's how you prevent having any PV, you prevent having any bacteria vaginosa, you prevent having any fish odors, is if you're not on top of your cleaning throughout the day. And like I said, this might not work for everybody. It's just what works for me. I'm a little bit more of a, I don't want to say germaphobe, but I'm more, you know, in the extreme side when it comes to cleaning, and that is just because my upbringing, my mom has always been like this. And when I was younger, I would be like, you're so extra, like you do the most. And not knowing that growing up, I was gonna start to incorporate a lot of the things that I seen her do throughout my childhood. So yeah, wipes are amazing. Have some wipes, especially wipes like flushable wipes. If you leave them on top of your toilet, they're so easy access, not only for women but for men. It's just a great way to keep yourself fresh throughout the day. All right, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is chafing cream. And let me tell you something, this is something that literally has changed my life, and I had just come across it a couple of weeks ago. This doesn't apply for all the girls, but it applies to me. So chafing cream is basically a cream that it kind of takes the form of powder. And for a lot of women, if you have like thicker inner thighs or your inner thighs tend to rub, you know that when you put on a dress in the summertime and it's hot, your legs might be kind of just making this motion and clashing, and you will get the worst like burn, you know, the worst inner thigh burn, and it hurts a lot. For so long, I didn't know how to combat this, you know. Like, I would want to put on dresses, but I would think like, oh my god, if I put on a dress, then my inner thighs are going to be rubbing against each other, it's gonna hurt after some time. I don't want to have to deal with pain, especially if I'm gonna be somewhere that I have to walk. So I would either use deodorant, which is a tip that you could do if you get a regular deodorant bar, and you want to aim for the ones that are kind of like the powder consistency, not the gel or not the like the moderate spray ones. You kind of just want to aim for the regular deodorant stick. I would literally just put deodorant like right on my inner thighs, and it would kind of prevent or just help a little bit of my inner thighs rubbing against each other. But oh my god, and then I went to the extreme. I was using the tape. I don't even know why I'm saying this online, but whatever. It's informative and it's educational, and a lot, we don't talk about this, and it's just so many things that could help other people. So little story time. I went on a trip and I was running out of deodorant. You know, I was running out of deodorant. was it that I was running out of deodorant? No, I wasn't running out of deodorant. I had deodorant, but I didn't want to keep reapplying the deodorant throughout the day, because deodorant, it only, at least for me, it would only last me maybe like an hour or two before my inner thighs would start rubbing again, and I would start feeling the friction. So I was like, you know something, I'm gonna take boob tape, which you know, the long pieces of tape that you could cut up, and I'm gonna just stick them on my inner thighs, and they're going to kind of create like shorts for me, or like it's gonna create a layer of fabric, so my inner thighs are not gonna be rubbing. Listen, it sounded great, and it was a great concept, and it did work for a little bit. I put on my tape, I went on by my day, and I was comfortable, but the tape eventually started to just start peeling off, and I would literally was in the bathroom trying to reapply this tape to be able to be comfortable enough to continue my daily routines. And this only happens, at least to me, when I have a dress or if I have a skirt where my thighs are really rubbing against each other. If I have shorts, if I have pants, then I'm completely fine. And if it's summertime, so this is like a summertime edition. So if it's summertime, then I would have this problem. If it's wintertime, I could put on a dress whenever and I'm fine. But for me personally, they would happen to me. So I came across chafing cream, and it is just absolutely amazing. It's literally a cream. I know that a lot of women tend to have those issues under their breast, or where did I see it? I saw under the breast, like on the armpit area, like on your legs. For me, it's on my inner thighs. So chafing cream literally is a game changer. You put it on, keep it in your bag if you have to reapply it throughout the day, and you're good to go. You're not going to have the pain or the bother, like the uncomfortableness of your skin rubbing against each other, especially when it's hot. If you know, you know. If you don't struggle with this, then you're lucky, you're blessed. You don't have to deal with this. Skip to the next tip. All right, so another tip that I have, and this is something that I learned early on when I used to live in Dominican Republic, is to avoid sitting on hot surfaces. So if you're outside and you're gonna sit like on a bench and the bench is really hot, you want to avoid sitting on hot surfaces like a bench or on the floor or on concrete, because the hot surfaces could cause you to get UTIs. So that's just a quick little tip. Avoid sitting on hot surfaces for a long period of time, because it could be prone to UTIs. All right, so the last tip that I have, and I know I had one more tip, but I'm going to remember this tip after the video is over, and it's so annoying, but I'll throw it in on another video, is to get regular checkups. And listen. If you are already in the age, what age are you recommended? A lot of people start getting checkups when they're 18, which is fine, right? But if you're already sexually active, and let's say you're in the age of 16, 17, 18, and you're already sexually active, you should already be going to a OBGYN, okay? You want to get checked, because I don't understand, and I'm saying this because I know that a lot of girls don't get regular checkups and don't get their regular annual paps and don't get their swabs done and don't get checked for whatever the case may be. But as soon as you start being sexually active, you want to start getting your checkups, your yearly checkups, your yearly pap smears, because this is going to really tell you, you know, are you healthy? Is your pH in balance? Do you have PV? Do you have overgrowth of whatever the case may be? You don't want to just be out here just living your life, and you know, you look great physically, you look all this, but you're not taking care of your health and the inside. You're not even in tune on what your freaking vaginal health looks like. And that to me is insane. Like, I know people that are just like, yeah, I don't get pap smears, I don't go get checked. once a year. And it's just like, why not? Like, that's very much important. You want to be checking yourself, you want to be going to the doctor, you want to find yourself a good OBGYN, especially if you're sexually active. You know, if you're sexually active with more than one partner, you want to be getting checked, because, you know, especially if you're not taking care of yourself. And when I mean not taking care of yourself, you're not like using protection, you want to be going to the OBGYN, you want to get checked, because, you know, all of those factors could throw off your pH balance. You could get overgrowths of bacterias. God forbid you could get an STD and you're just not aware of it because you're not checking. You're not in tune with your body. You're not seeing everything is normal. So regular pap smears, regular checkups to your OBGYN, it's only once a year, unless you have, you know, unless you have another condition and your doctor asks you to come in sooner or multiple times throughout the year. It's typically only once a year. You go, you have a pap smear, they check you, they make sure that everything is healthy, you get your labs done, you get everything, and it's just a great way to be on top of your health. So let me think, is there anything else that I want to add from besides that? I think that that's all the tips that I have for the summer. I know that there's another one that I'm missing. I don't remember. I wrote it down on a notebook. I was so prepared. I was thinking about all the things that I wanted to say. And then of course, oh, I remember. The last tip that I have is waxing. And listen, this is not for everybody either. I know that there's a lot of girls and there's a lot of people that don't like waxing, or they don't feel comfortable going to a place and, you know, opening their legs and somebody seeing their intimate area. At the end of the day, those people are professionals. They do that every single day. They see vaginas all day, every day. They're like, it's nothing crazy to them. But waxing is, I mean, for me, let me speak for myself, because sometimes I tend to sound like I'm speaking for everybody else. I'm really speaking for myself. But in my personal opinion, waxing is an extreme game changer when it comes to your intimate health. And believe it or not, it may seem something like so simple, like, oh, like you're just removing hair, it's something more of a preference. It is and it's not, and I'm gonna explain why. Before I was waxing, I was just doing your basic things, just shaving, you know. I've been waxing for several years now. I want to say two to 3 years I've been waxing, and ever since I started waxing, I haven't been shaving, and I'm only 23. So I started, yeah, when I was like 19, around like 19, 20, I started really like being consistent with my waxing. And the reason why I say that waxing is really important, it plays a big role in your vaginal health, and like I said, it doesn't apply to everybody, is because, one, you don't have to be using a razor, something so rough in your intimate area all the time. Two, you avoid all the ingrown hairs, all the vaginal pimples, whatever the case that you may be dealing with, you avoid that. Three, I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this, but vaginal hair is really there to protect your vagina. And it's great and all, you know, it protects your vagina, it does its role. But with that, it also could cause a lot of odor to hold there. If you are somebody that, you know, let me not say that. Let me switch it up. Vaginal hair could cause odor, you know, because you just have this extra layer of hair, and it collects odor throughout the day. And if you're somebody that may be struggling with vaginal odor, you maybe want to look into waxing, because waxing could just give you a clean surface, and you don't have that extra layer of, you know, hair. and it could just keep you cleaner and fresher, because the hair sometimes tends to hold moisture and tends to hold bacteria and tends to hold smell. So that's just an extra tip if you're somebody that, you know, may notice that you have done everything that's on the checklist and you are on top of your vaginal health and you use wipes and you're clean and you're going to the OBGYN and everything is good internally. Maybe it could be because, you know, you maybe give it a try waxing and see if you like it. I personally love waxing. I'm trying to do laser because, you know, that way I don't have to continue to get waxing, but I personally love waxing. After some time, your hair barely even grows. It grows really thin. You know, you could go months without even getting a wax and it wouldn't compare to not shaving for like 2 to 3 weeks. You know, if you know what I'm trying to say, then you know. And yeah, it's just a great way to also keep yourself really clean and comfortable. You don't have to deal with hair for typically 4 to 5 weeks. It'll, depending on your hair growth, it'll take 4 to 5 weeks to grow back. So you have, you know, a clean canvas for up to 4 to 5 weeks. And especially in the summertime, it's a great addition. You know, you could be ready to go to the beach whenever you want, or have shorts, or whatever the case may be. So with that said, these are all my summer tips that I like to use to just really take care of my intimate health throughout the summer. And I feel like these tips are really helpful because sometimes I feel like women, we don't really talk about what we do to take care of ourselves in a more intimate way, or we don't really give tips. It's something that we just kind of just deal and try to figure out on our own. But if you liked any of the tips, or if you have any other tips that I don't use or that I'm not aware of, then please leave them in the comments down below, because I will love to learn and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. This is a learning process throughout your lifetime. Your body changes. Stuff that works for me now may not work for me later. Things that I know now I may you know, learn. But yeah, so this is just to wrap up my video. Again, these are the tips that I use, that I'm sharing with you. I am not a specialist. I don't have a license. I don't know any I don't have any medical records, any medical history about any type of woman health, but these are the things that I have learned throughout the years that I wanted to share with you guys. So if you like this video, then please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.